Throughout history, many weapons have been used to aid people in battle, but sometimes a person's strongest asset is their own will. Ness, the PSI powerhouse from Earthbound, and Frisk, the determined seventh child from Undertale. I'm Fiction Fight, and this is Fiction Fight. The city of On. It was a peaceful, calm night when the meteor hit. In it lay an insect-like warrior from the future, sent to warn the Chosen One about the cosmic destroyer Gygus. It was only him, along with two other boys and a girl, who could save the universe from his wrath. His name was Ness. Despite being 13 years old, Ness holds a surprising amount of power. He was said to be strong already before the events of Earthbound as said by the people in on it, and, as it shows, he is ridiculously strong. His bat swing alone is strong enough to send an 800-pound gorilla flying, and he's strong enough to ram himself into carbon to create a diamond dog, and then ram himself into the dog that's made of diamond. He's able to crack K-Rool's belly armor, which can take missile fire from Samus, and is strong enough to lift an entire submarine. Ness is also extremely fast. He's fast enough to go and teleport whenever he goes too fast. That sets fire across the ground and will cover him in soup if he hits something. But he's also been able to travel almost the entire country of Eagleland in order to find Gygus. On top of that, Ness also has quite the arsenal. He's known to have several bats, but the strongest is the Gusty Bat, which does quite a lot of damage. Plus, it is really satisfying when you hit the smash. He's got a yo-yo that's strong enough to break metal, the Franklin Badge, which will deflect all electrical attacks, the Pixie Bracelet that aids defense, a shiny coin that aids in luck, and a pencil eraser that erases pencils. But most of his power comes from PSI. Along with added range with the basic energy attacks, he got many PSI moves in order to aid himself in combat. PSI Flash, which messes up opponents' emotions, and is possible to one-hit KO. PSI Hypnosis to hypnotize, Brain Shock to shock, Life Up to heal, Shield to shield, and many more. PSI Magnet will explode energy attacks. PK Thunder is an electric attack that's so strong, it knocks this giant thing down with one hit. He's also able to use it to hit himself with it and launch himself like a missile. PK Fire burns, and PSI Rocket sends a wave of concentrated energy that's headed straight to opponents. His most powerful attack seems to be PK Starstorm, which sends meteors raining down from the sky. On top of that, he also has telekinesis and levitation, being able to jump high distances. PSI also maybe seems to be the source of his largest strength, and with this PSI, he's done many things. Besides killing evil incarnate and with the help of his friends, he's bonded himself to the power of the universe after killing his evils inside. Lifted an entire submarine with friends, he's taken gunshots and fatal stabs and was fine, and took out a street gang and police force on the same day. He runs so fast he sets fire to the ground. Agile enough to avoid lasers, and, after buying with universe especially, gained a lot of courage. Now, this may seem like nothing special, however, the revive mechanic in Earthbound has Ness be the only one who survives through his courage. Which means that this is canon that Ness can revive after death, as he's the only one who's able to do so. Everyone else still dies. However, Ness isn't perfect. He gets homesick quite often and usually fights with a team. On top of that, he's a pacifist. Despite that, you'll be sure that Ness will continue to strive and fight for peace.
Ness wins!
One killed prince, and 6 souls later, a 7th child whose determination led the fate of the underground rose. Frisk. Frisk is a person who is a child. We don't know much about it, but Frisk's unusual amount of determination gave him the abilities to save and reset. What would be normal mechanics in an RPG are big parts in Undertale's lore. The amount of determination that Frisk has allows her to save and reset to revive him whenever she dies. So while the people in the Undertale will have no recollection of this, Frisk does. She can also save at a certain point whenever there's one of the star thingies, being able to save where she was and continue from there. Since Frisk is technically the savior and the slaughterer of the underground, and they technically have been done both runs. But we're not going to get into all the lore mumbo-jumbo, so we're going to just include feats from both, to put them at, like, their best. Despite being a seemingly human child, Frisk is able to push rocks past the size of these, and she is able to one-shot Metatron Neo. Frisk is also really smart, being able to solve complex puzzles in the ruins in a few minutes, even though Torio is gone. Frisk is also extremely fast. She's escaped the Hypergoner and the shooting stars shot by Asriel. She's traversed the entire underground in less than a day. She's even outran Undyne. She also has quite the arsenal for combat when it's needed. Frisk has several knives, each doing powerful damage, the most powerful being the real knife. Semi-armor heals 1 HP after every hit. Sweet Tea increases her speed and heals. Empty gun can fire air bullets? A burnt hand that heals 4 extra with other healing items. And a locking which severely increases defense. Apparently she can also feel a healing. Which now makes it seem like a good time to bring up the first human. Kara. Shara, whatever. The demon that comes when you call its name. Kara takes over Frisk at the end of the genocide road. Kara can help raise attack, defense, HP, and love, and is able to sometimes take over Frisk briefly. However, as long as Frisk isn't determined, Kara may as well be history. Frisk, however, may not even need Kara in this fight, though. She's avoided meteors, outran Undyne, and killed everyone in the underground, including the funny skeleton. However, Frisk is still a child and has a fair share of weaknesses to boot. Or, ballet shoe? Because it's an item in the game? Kara can turn her back, and Frisk is very lightweight, as evident by being lifted up by the small bird. In return, that makes Frisk agile, quick, and determined to continue. However, without her determination, he isn't really able to do much since he can't save or reset. However, despite these flaws, you'll be sure that Frisk will always stay determined. While Frisk's versatility and abilities, dodge, kept Ness on his toes, that was really about it. Ness is stronger, faster, and pretty much excels at anything Frisk would have had. The speed and Psy alone is able to outclass any weapon Frisk owns. But what about the save and reset? Couldn't Frisk simply just reset? If Ness can revive too, wouldn't this battle be a stalemate? However, this is not the case. Several moves that Ness has messes with emotions and mess with your brain. This will keep Frisk from being determined, therefore not being able to reset or anything. Keep in mind, none of Frisk's moves could really hurt Ness since he's taken potato shots before. Frisk is going to be gone in a flash. The winner is Ness.